part of me that's kind of happy that James Harden and Kyrie Irving don't have these massive markets. Like, maybe for once, people in the NBA are actually wising up here. Maybe it's not a great idea to hand James Harden a boatload of money when he's 33 years old and he's not a winning player. Maybe it's not a great idea to completely max out Kyrie Irving when every place he's been to since he won the title in Cleveland, he's left in worse shape. Maybe, Perloff, the NBA is finally getting a clue here.
Yeah, but I wonder, though, I don't think the market in the future is going to play out like that because these are two really declining players who also have very limited defensively. There's going to be some big free agents in coming years who are going to max out easily.
Yeah, but the NBA had gotten into a place where it almost didn't matter. If you're in your prime, not in your prime, there would be places willing to give you money and take you in. We just saw this with Russell Westbrook and the Los Angeles Lakers. Nobody thought that was going to be a good idea. Yet what happened? Because of player empowerment, because LeBron James wanted to play with Westbrook, they moved heaven and earth to get Westbrook to LA, and it ended up crashing and burning. He even found a way to stay in LA, so whatever, that's fine, playing for the Clippers. Maybe, though, with what is going on now with Harden, where it doesn't feel like the takers, how few of them there are out there, it looks like maybe the Clippers, and I don't even know what else is real, that they're not willing to just say, oh, because you were a former MVP, because you have this reputation, like, we're going to throw all this money at you.
Yeah, no duh. I mean,
that wasn't always a given. You're making it seem like that, you know, the NBA has been hip to this for a while. That's not true.
Well, who's as old as Harden, turning 34, has ever signed a free agent contract like that? I mean, I guess KD has. But listen, obviously Kevin Durant.
KD just got traded for like 4 first-round picks, multiple pick swaps.
But KD's all-timer. KD will still get that money. Guys who are good will still get that money. I know the second apron is coming, right? The second apron keeper.
The dreaded torture chamber of...
The new salary cap's coming. But I don't think the NBA has changed their ideas on spending at all. I think it's these two specific players are viewed very suspiciously. And I think there's a reason that they're on the market.
Yeah, they deserve to be treated suspiciously.
Right, but there's so many good players who will not be treated suspiciously. So many.
Well, I'll add on top of it just what a terrible job Washington did by giving Bradley Beal a no-trade clause. There will not be a no-trade clause again. I can't imagine. Victor Wembanyama is going to have to turn into the second coming of like LeBron mixed with Tim Duncan for him to get a no-trade clause. No team should be dumb enough to do that again. And he didn't even have like that much leverage, in my opinion. So maybe the teams are wising up. Listen, I'm all for player empowerment. I like when players have a seat at the table and when they can have some say over their future. But it might have been getting too far, swinging the other way, and that end of the bell curve and that end of the pendulum where James Harden can literally quit on 2 teams on the court and still find takers and still find a home and still be treated like a superstar.
So you think the reason his value is down is because he burned these teams?
I think the reason his value is down is because he's not a crunch time player. And
so if he burned these teams and he was a crunch time player,
well, I don't know. Maybe we'd see something a little bit bigger. But no, bad behavior in superstars has been tolerated forever. That's sports.
And I'm saying I don't think that this is any proof that bad behavior is discouraged at all. I think this is proof that turning 34 and watching your production decline is not good. If he was a complete jerk, total, just the worst guy in the world, if he was taller and more efficient and could cover Jokic and could help you win a title, he could be the worst dude ever and they would pay him all the money. I don't think they care about this player empowerment or guys demanding trades because like you said, Kevin Durant has done the same thing and everybody wanted him. So I think it's really the quality of player. I don't think it's their attitude towards the teams.
There's another part of this too, which is you would just have to be crazy. Like, I'm looking at the Clippers, and they're going to have, potentially, if they do trade for Harden, they would have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and James Harden. That may go down in history as the worst big 3 of all time. And Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, and Kobe was terrible because they barely all played together.
Right.
Because Steve Nash got hurt.
Pierce, Garnett, Darren Williams was probably the worst.
It was awful.
KD... James Harden and who was the third? Kyrie.
Kyrie also bad. And this one could be worse.
How could they be worse than that?
No one's going to play.
Well,
Kawhi never plays. Paul George never plays.
That trio never won a playoff game, did they? Or
yeah, they won a playoff game.
Were they all on the court for that playoff game?
Well, they weren't all on the court, but this was a Kevin Durant, a big toe away from
right. My point is,
Milwaukee.
did the big three ever play together? Was one of them out for that?
I think they played one playoff game together.
Okay.
I believe.
So at least this big three can beat that.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they definitely can.
How do you know any of those guys would be healthy for the postseason?
Well, listen, Kawhi is awesome. And he looked amazing when he came back last year. Yeah. So he could carry these guys.
Carry them to what? He never plays. He got hurt in the postseason. Yes, he's awesome when he plays, but he doesn't play nearly enough.
Well, I think they can win a playoff game.
A playoff game,
which will make them infinitely better than some of these other big threes. But here's the other issue: the Clippers have no options here. They basically have to take a swing at something. It's a wild swing. They're pinned in such a way with their salary cap structure that they're desperate. And you know what? When you make desperate moves as a team, what happens? It rarely works out.
I just don't
so
know.
They're taking a desperate swing here because they have nothing else they can do.
Okay, but desperate swing, or you're throwing bad money after bad money.
Well,
right?
They're not re-signing him. I mean, they're going to do this $35 million thing, which is basically pocket change in the NBA. So is that throwing bad money after bad money?
Well, let's figure out, if you don't give him an extension, how does James Harden then show up to LA? Do you think he shows up as the motivated guy who's there to prove everyone wrong, or does he show up kind of ticked off that he actually is a former MVP who's got to play in a contract year and does not like the way he's being treated?
That's Kyrie's MO, right?
That could be Kyrie's MO.
That's what Kyrie does. I think Harden could be motivated.
You're out of your mind. What motivates Harden? The champagne room? The champagne room now. He's got more money than God. I mean, more money now?
So if he doesn't show up, then the Clippers, it's a one-year rental. It's a low risk. They're not giving up anybody for him. I saw the players that they're shopping. It's like the Nicholas Batums of the world.
Right. But does it get you any closer to a title? Does it get you further away? You'd almost be better off just blowing it up then.
Yeah, I understand. Listen, there's very few teams where I would say I kind of get why you're going after Harden. Now, my first reaction when the news came out they were going to trade him, I'm like, oh, I hope they trade him within the conference so the Sixers have a better chance of getting the finals. Like, he could easily kill the Knicks. He could kill the Heat.
Like, implode them.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are legit title contenders. Right now, if the Clippers don't add Harden, they have no chance of the title either. They need to try something.
I don't know if I'd do this. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, as we say here most days, but it's true, we got a lot going on today. We finish out our great debate series, Greatest Sports Movies. Now, if you're just joining us, or if this is the first time you're listening to us this week, we've been ranking our top 5 greatest sports movies. We've been doing it by sport. So Monday we did baseball, Tuesday we did boxing, Wednesday we did football, yesterday we did basketball. Today we are doing something we're calling Sports Catch-All. So it's not one specific sport. It's Perloff and I, our top 5s. We're not going to use any movies that we've used already this week. So no overlap. So all the Bull Durhams and all of the Any Given Sundays, those are done. But this is a sports catch-all, and we're going to reveal those top 5s next.
You're not going to use this opportunity to get Hoosiers on your list?
I did not put Hoosiers on my list for basketball movies.
Yeah,
no.
let's bury that one. That is not getting a good reaction.
No, it didn't.
Listen, I had a couple that I totally whiffed on too. I like this category because it's so broad. By the way, are you a little worried? You have to admit it.
About what?
So Phillies made it to the World Series last year.
Yeah.
The Eagles made it to the World Series last year.
Wearing his brotherly love hat, by the way.
It's just a matter of days. Damian Lillard's coming to Philly, and the Sixers are making the finals. You are going to be sitting next to, like, the ultimate winner. Well, it's happening. You know that this is where that's going.
You know, I hope so. I kind of hope so, because here, I know we're on in Portland, and I know this has been like a back and forth kind of thing, but if it ends up being Tyrese Maxey, and if it ends up being like a good package that goes back to Portland that makes sense, I think this could be good for Portland, because the Sixers have good pieces, and if Portland can get a little something from Philly, then I do like it for both sides,
Right, so clear Harden out of the way. I mean, it just seems to fit very well. I know Miami wants Damian Lillard too, but that's why I was so excited yesterday, because I think the Sixers, by losing Harden, obviously addition by subtraction, exactly what you were saying. But now, if they get 2 future firsts out of the Clippers, I mean, there's a lot of options here. 2 future firsts. I mean, we're just talking about how Harden has no value. Where do the 2 future firsts come from? That's what everyone's floating out there. It's a bunch of scrubs and 2 future firsts. Okay. No, I understand why you're flummoxed at it. But I don't know. It just feels like after I ate the 10 wings yesterday, and after they were able to get rid of Harden, it feels like anything is possible in Andrew Perloff's life.